Namaskar, my dear friends. My name is Vijay Sridharaya and I welcome you all once again to second video episode on making a new generation. This episode is also sequel to the earlier episode on 4 lights of life. The 4 lights of life, which we said are the essential qualities for any human being to exist very beautifully in this world. If we recap, the first one which we dealt with was all life on this planet is one, and the differences exist to create beauty and convenience in the society, and not to create any conflict on this planet. The second is any life when it is hurt, it will feel the pain, including plant life. If we come to the third one talks about if you have to have something or if you want to have something in this world, you need to earn it. It doesn't come for free. The fourth one is honesty, which is the most misused term in various scenarios. We will look at how these things are connected. If one inculcates or cultivates these habits or qualities in oneself, how one will prosper or how one will blossom in this society. Now, we have already looked at the first one, that all life is one. Now, without wasting time, if we go to the second quality, which is talking about any life will feel pain when it is hurt. This also includes plants, animals, and human beings. Now, when I say plants, you may be wondering, why is it plants? We always heard that only those living beings which have central nervous system, they will feel the pain. No, that is not true. And there are further aspects to it. When you look at Sir Jagdish Chandra Bose experiments, who is a famous botanist and physicist as well, in the early 20th century, he has done a lot of experiments on plants because he has realized that plants also have life. They are not just commodities, they are also life. And he has conducted a lot of experiments on them, and he has invented a machine called, or an instrument called crascograph. You can Google on it and you can find a lot of information. This crascograph can plot growth information or behavioral information or the vibrations in the plants when the plants go through different environments or different situations or different events, or when they meet people of different nature. The movements are recorded on a graph, graph was plotted, and it was clearly understood that plants also feel the emotions. They also understand what we try to do to them. So it is important to understand that all life, including plants, they also feel the pain, and we just want to keep the pain minimal to survive in this world. Now, if this fundamental aspect, or this one quality will become the fundamental panacea for all the strife that exists in this world, this one quality will become the remedy for all the strife in this world. This is not a pompous statement. This is a very, very logical statement. And if this quality has to be imbibed into your children or into any human being, there should be very strong foundation. Now, we have already laid a strong foundation saying that all life is one. When all life is one, if I am feeling the pain in a situation, if any life is there in my situation, provided their senses are similar to my senses, or they perceive the information the way I do, they will also go through similar crisis, either physically or emotionally. So if that awareness is brought into your children, they will become very conscious in the society, which is very essential for any human being to live in. If you look at the first quality, that is talking about how the existence is, the reality of existence, how it is. If you look at the second quality or the second aspect, it talks about how to live in harmony in the existence. So you have the existence, you know about the existence, that this is what it is, all life is one, and you know how to exist in this existence in harmony with all other life around. When these two qualities are taken care of, there is no conflict at all happening, and everything is going perfect. Further to this quality, if you look at the scriptures, even Jesus has said that do unto others what you would have wanted them do to you. which means that you always want pleasant experience from others. So it obviously means always give pleasant experience to others, not any bad experiences to others. The third quality which we want to discuss right now is, if you want to have something, you need to earn it. There is no free lunch. That is something which we need to make it clear to our children. There is no free lunch. If there is some free lunch, there are some conditions associated with it, of course. You and I know it very well. Now, the kid, when he starts living in harmony with the existence and other life on this planet, suddenly there will be an opportunity to look at himself. What about me? I am living in harmony with others. I know that all life is one. Now, what about myself? What about my aspirations? Yes, absolutely fantastic. Every person will have aspirations. Now, how to fulfill those aspirations, or how to fulfill the wishes that a person have, is through the third quality, which is, if you want to have something, you must earn it. There is no free lunch. So suddenly he will look at himself, what is he wishing for? Maybe he is wishing for a car, maybe he is wishing for a very good job, maybe he is wishing to do some social service, maybe he is wishing some decent home for himself, maybe he wants to become a politician, maybe he wants to become an actor, maybe he wants to do business. These are all aspirations and wishes that any person will have. Once he has that aspiration, then he will look at, okay, I need to earn it. How do I earn it? What are my gaps? What does my aspiration demand from me? Is it a skill, or is it a physical prowess, or is it health that it demands from me? Or is it my capabilities that I need to enhance? So these are the things. Suddenly he will look at it and starts improvising on that front. And that is a very good opportunity for him to improve in physical capabilities and mental capabilities and improve his intelligence. Once he is there, he will start looking at the opportunities. He will start looking at the venues where these opportunities are possible, and try to make an entry positively. When I say positively, as you understand, for everything to make it possible, everything that is material on this planet, to make it possible, we have two kinds of ways. One is a positive way, one is the negative way. As you understand, the positive way is always hard to track. The negative way is easier to do. But what do we want to present to our kids? Is it the right world that we want our kids to be presented with, or is it some skewed up world that we want our kids to be presented with? We want our kids to be in the right world. Maybe there are hardships, but still we want to present our kids the right planet, or a planet which is filled with righteous human beings. We don't want a negative ways to happen. When I say negative way, it means that to get some things done, we can influence that thing to get it done by either power or money. If we do it that way, the skill is absolutely suppressed. The capable human beings are suppressed, and only mediocre human beings are getting prospered. So, do we want those things to happen with every other being? We have already looked at all life is one, and we should not hurt other human beings. So, we don't want to do that. So, the essential principle that we need to present to our children is, if you want to have something, you need to earn it. So to earn it, you need to improve your capabilities and skill level, intelligence, and health and physical prowess. So if that is made clear, suddenly your child will start having a goal in his life, and he will start moving towards it. When he has a goal in life and starts moving towards it, he is already glowing as a human being. If you understand, if a light is just glowing, only people that come to it will get benefited. But if a light is going, then it will become a pathfinder. So your kid will become a torchbearer in this world. He is not only glowing as a human being, but he also has a goal and moving towards it or working towards it. Now suddenly people will see him as much more powerful, much more compassionate, and much more of a human being. So that is very important. When we come to the fourth quality, when we look at the fourth quality, which is a very misunderstood, very misquoted word, honesty. Now I remember that most of you have heard of this, that honesty is the best policy. This was said by Benjamin Franklin, I think, but at those time it was very relevant. And when we borrow certain things from other times and others, we should see whether it is relevant to our current situation or not. So that is what a sensible human being will do when he is trying to adopt things which belong to other times and other people. Now, when we look at honesty, just the pure honesty is a wildfire. When I say wildfire, it will catch fire wherever it is. So if you are honest at every place, you may be creating a lot of harm than any good to the society or to yourself. So there are innumerable examples on this. So honesty, if we have to adopt in your life, you need to look at it from three contexts, and a little qualitative analysis is required here. Why do we have to look at it in three dimensions? Is because on a person to become a human being with integrity, then you need to look at it from three dimensions. The first dimension is, if you are doing something to the society, or if your action is affecting the society, how honest you can be there. The second thing is, if society is doing something unto you, how honest you must be. Now the third one is, if you are doing something unto you, how honest you must be. So that is where these three dimensions come into picture, and these three dimensions have different variances of how honest you must be. Honesty not just means truthful, but your honesty should make you a human being with integrity. If your honesty is not making you a human being of integrity, then your honesty is absolutely nonsense. So you might have gone through many situations where your heart says whether or not to be honest, and suddenly your vested interests start popping up, and you might have taken some decisions based on the situation. And later you might have regretted as well that I should not have done this. No. If you have become a human being with integrity, suddenly all your decisions will become absolutely appropriate. For that to happen, you must look at honesty from a three-dimensional perspective. One dimension is when you are doing actions to the society, or when you are affecting the society, how honest you must be. And when the society is doing things to you, then how honest you must be. And thirdly, when you are doing things unto you, or when you are projecting yourself, how honest you must be. So let's look at the first one. I'll take an example here. Suppose, God forbid, there is an old couple, and the man is a heart patient. The woman went to the market to buy something for the day. Nobody else is living with them. While coming back, you have seen that woman met with an accident and expired. So what will you do? You go to the man's house, or you go to the couple's house and try to convey this message, isn't it? Now, will you convey this actual message, or will you hide that message? That is the question. You may take different stances and say, one stance being, I will convey the message, whatever it is. Or you may say, you will hide the message, and when the situation is appropriate, you will tell the message. So whatever your stance is, the most important thing there is, it is not honesty that is required at that moment. It is compassion for the other human being that is required. So when you are compassionate for the other human being, you will do the most appropriate thing. So there is this is one way. There may be other ways, but what I am going to speak is one way of handling the situation. You may go to his home, and you may get this lady hospitalized first, or take her to the hospital first, and then go to his home and tell him that the lady collapsed on the street because of some sunstroke or something, and she is hospitalized. Currently, she wants to see you. And it's a little lesser impact than giving the message that the lady has expired. Now, the old man you will accompany the old man to the hospital. Once you are in the hospital, you have the situation under control. The doctors are around, the old lady is there, the old man is there. Now, either you can convey in a very appropriate way to the person, or you can ask the doctors to convey the message to him as appropriate. The situation is under control. Even if the old man gets something, the doctors are really there to handle the situation. That may be one of the better ways to handle. Now, here what we need is compassion, not honesty. So when we deal the situations with the outside world, you don't need honesty, you need compassion first, and then honesty. So the second situation or the second dimension is when society does things to you, or society is affecting you in a way. So when somebody questions your way of projecting yourself, then you have to be honest, because it is about you. It is not about the society. You have to be honest about yourself. Suppose somebody is giving something for free. If somebody is giving 10,000 rupees for free for all the people who are below a certain income, now at that point in time you are just moving there, and you also traveled a lot. Now, for the longest travel you had, you also appear like you had not eaten for several days. People will really think that you are you do not have any income greater than 10,000 rupees per month. Now that is an opportunity for you to get into the queue and get grab the things. Now that is when your honesty comes into picture. Will you be when society is doing things to you, will you be honest or not? That is the question. Now suddenly most people do not let the opportunity go, and they will get into the queue and get the things done. But your honesty will come to test then. That is the right scenario to test your honesty, and you have to be honest. And this is the message that you need to give to your children. Now, when we look at the third dimension to the quality honesty, that is talking about myself. When I look at myself, am I the same person which I think about myself? I may be thinking that I am this kind of person, I am the most truthful person, or I am the most giving person, or I am the most forgiving person, or I am very intelligent, or I am very punctual, or I follow the time, or I will not do this, I will only do this. If these kind of images are there for myself unconsciously, but when the situations really come, am I standing up to my expectations or up to my image for myself? If I am not standing, then obviously I am failing on my image. If I am not standing up to my own image, I am failing on my image, which is the third dimension, which has to be very closely and very consciously looked at before you form an image about yourself. So that image, once you form that image, you will have to live up to it, which is a very hard thing to do. But unless you do it, this is for our children, of course. Unless they do it in a hardest possible way, they will not become human beings with integrity. When a human being doesn't have an integrity, he will lose trust, or rather, people do not trust him or her. When people do not trust him or her, it is absolutely not worthy. Or any work that he or she does, it's absolutely not worthy in this society, because people do not trust him. Whatever he does or she does, nobody wants to take it because they don't have trust in that. So it is very important that a person becomes a human being of integrity, or integrity factor comes into every human being. And once that is there, the honesty is taken care by itself. Honesty has to be addressed in three dimensions. Once those three dimensions are addressed, a human being will become a human being with integrity. Once that is taken care, you don't have to worry about anything else. Now, if he knows the person knows what is existence, he can live in harmony with the existence. The third thing is he can look at himself, what he needs to do, and he can improve on his path towards his aspirations. And finally, he can deal with the situations. What else do you need for your child to do in this world? He will be wonderful human being with all the good qualities in himself, and he is also compassionate. He is a human being with integrity, and he is working towards his goals in all possible ways. That is a wonderful thing that can happen to any human being on this planet. And I wish and pray to all of you that please pass on this message. Don't just retain it with you. Please pass on this message. You don't have to quote my name. You don't have to quote my web address. You can just text it to anybody that these 4 qualities, which when imbibed in any human being, will make him wonderful human being. The 4 qualities which we talked about it, just try to recap them, note them down, try to put it on a sheet of paper and hang it in your hall or bedroom or wherever it is most visible, and try to be an example for your children, because children always look up to you to learn things. And try to ensure that all these 4 qualities are inculcated or cultivated in your children. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me. And if you're further interested on my talks, please subscribe to me on Facebook, Making a New Generation. Namaskar.